Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I come to you with a bad decision. Merely days before the Bishop mid-month update, which hopefully contains more than Bishop, but may only be Bishop Tier 4 new uniform, I am going to Tier 4 a different character. However, I'm not as psycho as to Tier 4 a Blast character, partially because there aren't many Blast characters left for me to Tier 4 that I want to Tier 4, shout out to Ebony Maw. Also because I really do want to Tier 4 Bishop, if not day 1, day 2, or day 3, because I think he's just really cool. I don't even really care if he's good. I do hope he's good, and I think he might be good. Remember, he had counterattack back in the day that actually made him good against Captain Marvel. So, yeah, fingers crossed they gave him Eye from Ignore and damage reduction, and he claps, and he can be used for PvP. I'm very excited for that potentiality, but I also think that there's a good chance the devs completely fumble this one. That being said, before we go ahead and Tier 4 the character that I want to Tier 4, standard PSA, it's always a bad idea to Tier 4 characters right before an update because you don't know what's coming, right? There might be Nightcrawler Tier 4 around the corner. It might be another Tier 4 around the corner that I really want to Tier 4, and I'm basically, kind of screwing myself over in that case. That being said, I'm still going to do it because I want to Tier 4 Wong. And I want to Tier 4 Wong mainly because of his support ability. His support ability giving magic allies with the magic ability tag, increased damage, 53% increased damage against villains and heroes. And it actually applies to him. Because he has the zombie tag, it actually is also going to apply to Doctor Strange. It would apply to Doctor Strange anyways, but you can also pair him with Doctor Strange, for any stages, almost any stages that they're available for in World Boss Legend Plus. And this is particularly important for the stages that I'm currently kind of struggling with, which is 55 to 59. I was able to do it without any refreshes or shenanigans, but it was very, very difficult. I actually don't know. I didn't do 59. I got all the way up to 50. I got up to 59, but I haven't been able to actually beat 59 yet because I ran out of time. And I do have double supports for Doctor Strange in the form of Weapon Hex and Mystique, but I imagine that Wong will replace Mystique and probably be slightly better. That being said, there's another dimension to the Wong Tier 4, and that is Team Battle Arena. And in order to illustrate this as fast as possible, did anybody attack me overnight? Ooh, they did. Let's see what happened. Okay, 8 hours ago, we got attacked by Ultimate Joe. Okay, that's cool. Anyways, in order to illustrate this, I'm going to use my good friend JFPP16 from the Nemesis Alliance that I'm a part of, and just take a quick peek. Nope, not at that. At his teams. And you can see there, he's constructed a team, in this case, partially due to the fact that Null is banned this week in Challenger for Team Battle Arena, but he constructed this very curious team with Dr. Doom and Quicksilver. And now, Quicksilver gains no benefit from Wong's existence, but Dr. Doom does, because he has the magic tag. And so, this team seems like it's used to punish Adam Warlock teams. I could be mistaken. There may be other blast-heavy teams with Magic, Madeline, that the team aims to dismantle, but usually Quicksilver is used to take down atoms due to his, his type advantage, speed versus blast, but also due to the fact that most atoms have pivoted away from greed to conquest, meaning Atom doesn't have access to to ignore dodge anymore, and not having ignore dodge means that Quicksilver and also by extension Spider-Man will have an easier time and will be less at risk or less vulnerable to Atom's attacks because, the greed CTP isn't there, giving Atom additional ignore dodge. So that's why I want to Tier 4 Wong. He's kind of the last piece of the puzzle for a team like that to fixture in with Doom and in this case Quicksilver, although he doesn't have the magic tag. I believe also that Mephisto has the magic tag, and Mephisto, as we know, is rumored to be in Ironheart. And if Ironheart is the second mid-month, there's also a possibility that we're going to be getting Mephisto Tier 4 down the line. So all that being said, kind of makes sense for Wong. Obviously, this doesn't make sense for a lot of accounts, and I'm doing a lot of this kind of speculatively, but I wanted to give you guys my thought process and the breakdown to sort of establish the value for the character. I also wanted to establish that and I want to make a separate video about this, but with the introduction of elite gear, and for example here, like I stopped at 180 for Null, whereas a lot of people in my alliance and other players have just, kept pushing on to 200 to max it out. But with the introduction of Elite Gear for existing tier 4s, I thought about what that means. And I think the message that they're trying to send to the players is twofold. One, obviously they want whales to spend more money, and they want whales to spend money on a new thing. So they're creating a new currency so that the whales can go crazy. They did recently increase the rewards. It's weird to call them rewards. The resources that you get from buying the static packs that always exist. So the Elite Gear upgrade packs, they actually doubled the amount of Godstones you get from 550 to 1,000, which shows you that I guess while whales were willing to buy them, they were also not very happy with the return on investment, and they probably complained. If you guys don't know, it's pretty crazy, but most mobile games have like a VIP section, and I'm not a part of it, but I know it exists because I've spoken to the community managers for the games that run those VIP sections. And what that means is essentially very, very high-level VIP players who have spent in the 6 digits, in the 7 digits. They have essentially a community manager that they can liaise with privately. They can either, usually it's through email or it's through some sort of application, you know, like a texting application, a social media application, and they can talk to them, and they basically give them feedback, and they complain about you know, like, you know, it's kind of annoying to purchase this item, or, you know, there's too many steps involved for me to purchase this other item. And then they take that feedback to the marketing team, this community manager, and then the marketing team actually makes decisions based on that, because those are basically your best customers telling you how to improve your product, so they'll spend more money. Anywho, so that happened, but the whole existence of the Elite Gear system makes me feel like this is it. In the sense, not that the game is shutting down or anything like that, but in the sense that future updates aren't necessarily going to hold insane meta breakers. And I say that after knowing that we just got Storm, who blew the absolute pants off Psylocke and Gambit, and also to a lesser extent Zombie Doctor Strange. Like, Storm is insanely good, but I think Storm is actually the exception, not the norm, moving forward. And the reason for that is Elite Gear. Elite Gear gives players the opportunity to further enhance existing meta characters. Null is already the best PvP character. Sentry is already the best PvP character. By the way, here is a way to make them even stronger, to make them even more powerful. And I sat with that a minute, and I was like, man, doesn't that mean that they're not going to power creep this Elite Gear system that much moving forward? Right? Because think about it like this. They introduced the Elite Gear system. You spend hundreds of dollars and you max out Null's Elite Gear. You max out Sentry's Elite Gear. It's level 200. And if you think this is a joke, it's not. Look, you can take the 10th ranked person, shout out Nemesis, and they have, let's see, Gear 200 on Sentry already. And Gear 200 on Null. Already maxed. And this is not the number 1 ranked player. This is the number 10 ranked player. So there's easily 20, 30, 40, 50 other accounts that have also already done this for multiple characters. This is not a pipe dream. It's already happened. So you're telling me that they introduced this system, Elite Gear, that players spend money on it to max it out, and then you're hoping, and then some other player, whatever, is hoping that next update for the Fantastic Four, they're going to give Doom a new uniform, or they're going to give Mr. Fantastic a new uniform that makes him the head honcho, the number 1 dog of PvP, ahead of Sentry and Null, who they just put out a new system for, that you know, further solidifies and cements their stranglehold over PvP? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of thinking, like, is this it? In the sense that the established incumbent meta for a lot of content is probably going to stick around a lot longer than we think. And I think what we're going to see, we might be entering a new era of Marvel Future Fight. Maybe that's how I'll phrase my video. But I do want to make a separate video going into this in a deeper way. But essentially, what I'm thinking is, are we entering a new era of Marvel Future Fight where rather than power creeping endlessly, which we've done for the past few years, where we just expect new tier 4s to just eclipse old tier 4s, instead they're going to play music. They're going to start to play musical chairs with the restrictions for content. And that is going to be how they shift the meta, despite keeping the same characters in a theoretical restrictionless meta the same. Hopefully that made sense the way I explained it. If it didn't, I'll make another video. Like, I do really want to make another video on this going into more depth. But for now, I really want a tier 4 Wong. So let's just go ahead and do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, boys. You've waited long enough. Okay, the point wasn't, I wasn't trying to tease you guys or, you know, edge or whatever. It wasn't a bait and switch. Here we go, boys. We are actually tier 4ing the Wonginator. I'm going to have to give him a better build. I'm also planning, he has agreed right now, I'm actually planning to swap this over to a Liberation. And I don't want to reveal all of my tech, but I have a plan for that as well. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. I've got 39,600 Carbo and 32,000, 39,600. Let's just go. Let's just run it. We'll see. 5, 9, 16, 29. That's brutal. 26. Okay, first gear was definitely overpriced. Definitely overpriced on the bloody sling ring. That's okay. We need some single digits here. 3, 10, 13. We need some 9s. 14. Okay, 14's not bad. 16. Okay, that was underpriced. I don't know if that second gear made up for the first gear. It might have, but we may still be on track for a little bit of an overpayment. 18, 10, 13, 13. This is cheap. 21. Okay, that was a bit underpriced. Would have preferred the 21-13 instead of the 13-21, but that's okay. And then the final gear, 8, 11, 17. Let's go down, please. 22. Go down, damn it. 1. Hey, yo. 1 with the bing bong. 1 with the bing bong. Unfocused eye. Okay, not bad. So we ended up spending 5,000. We spent about 5,000 Carbo on the gears. So in total, we're going to spend 5,800 for the advancement. There we go. That's Wong tier 4, baby. Locked in. Ooh. Oh, yeah. His tier 3 ability is really sick. His tier 3 advancement is so sick. Yeah, this is when they... that's actually really sick. This is when they actually still made cool tier 3 advancements that weren't just the tier 3 skill or the transcended skill animated from a different angle. That was actually really nice. What is it called? Way of Magic. Okay, nice. We get some gold refund. Very, very nice. But that is tier 4 number 55? I don't know. 54. Okay. Yeah. Tier 4 number 54. Oh, we almost have more tier 4s than tier 3s. Mainly because I'm moving tier 3s over to tier 4, right? I actually have very few transcended tier 4s. That's another video I want to talk about. Transcended characters are in the mud right now, man. They are just not valuable for a lot of content, PvE or PvP. And I don't know if that's ever going to come back because they just don't cost as much, right? They don't have the book requirement, so the devs are not as inclined to make them good, which is crazy, but it's actually kind of true. Like, look at how many transcendent characters I have versus tier 3. There's a gap of 57. Why is that? It's partially because they give a lot of bad characters transcendence with no uniform and no upgrade, like Goliath, Yellow Jacket, Caecilius, Clea, whatever. But it's also because most of my tier 4s are just tier 3s that got converted into tier 4s. So it's like, it's not just a +1 to the tier 4, it's also a -1 from the tier 3. So every time it's a difference, it's a movement of 2. But yeah, there we go. We got Wong all ready to go. We're not going to use him for now because my Team Battle Arena teams are not utilizing Dr. Doom and Quicksilver. I could try instead of the Thanos team, but the Thanos team performs pretty well, I would say. I may have to try some new tech here in a bit, but we have 4 days left before the season rolls over, so I'll see where it goes from there. And that's also, for those of you wondering why I'm holding on to my Godstone. For those of you that saw that I have Godstone enough to try or to unlock other characters' elite gears, like for example, if I wanted to unlock Atoms or I wanted to unlock Silver Surfers, excuse me, I have enough. But I'm waiting to see what the new season of Team Battle Arena is, because I don't want to... For example, I could go ahead with Nulls, and I could try to get him to 190. I got very unlucky on the 160 limit break, and it cost me, like, 3,000 Godstone. It was a piece of shit. But I could go ahead and max this one out and probably hit 190, but then in Team Battle Arena in 4 days, he could be banned. And then I'm like, oh, I made this upgrade for nothing, and now I can't benefit from it for 2 weeks. I know I could benefit from it in other ways. Timeline battle, conquest, other world battle, alliance tournament. But right now, my focus is Team Battle Arena. I'm having fun with that game mode. I'm trying to stay in the top 10. And so in order to do that successfully, since I'm not like a giga mega whale, Kraken, cosmic whale, I need to kind of strategically hold the limited resources that I have left for these kinds of things. Anyways, guys, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Wong. Boom. Brand new minted tier 4. I'll be very excited if the team performs well, and I'll bring you guys some content on that because I do really like the magic archetype. I liked it so much I thought it should be its own typing, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, guys, smash the like button if you enjoyed the content. Hit me up down below in the comments with your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.